Well, it is Monday, and that means one thing. It's time for another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. I'm Meghan Triplett, and I got my guy John Roser on the phone, and we got to talk some weekend.
I'm on the computer. I'm not on the phone.
Computer. Okay, the phone, computer, we're on Skype. I got you here. The point is, I have you because we got to wrap up everything that happened this weekend. And let's start with some breaking news that happened Monday morning, right or bright and early. Sources are saying that Mike McCarthy is to be hired by the Dallas Cowboys to be the next coach. As everyone knows, Mike McCarthy had a successful run at Green Bay Packers, and he won a Super Bowl with them. And now he could potentially be going to Dallas. So, Roser, what is your stance? Is this a good hire?
I mean, yeah, it's a good hire. You look at, Mike McCarthy's won games, and they said that the Cowboys were looking at proven NFL head coaches, and they interviewed two. They interviewed Mike McCarthy, and they interviewed Marvin Lewis. To me, either one of those would have been great hires. I mean, to me, I don't think you could have gone wrong with any of them, with either one of them. McCarthy's the one who he's won the Super Bowl as a head coach. Marvin Lewis won the Super Bowl as the defensive coordinator on that legendary 2000 Ravens defense. And so look, McCarthy's a good coach. The guy won a Super Bowl with the Packers. He won his Super Bowl in Jerry World too, in the Cowboys new stadium. 10-8 in his career in the postseason. 125 and 77-2 in the regular season. He is, that's a winning coach. And look, I kind of would have liked to have seen Marvin Lewis get the job because I feel like Marvin Lewis does get kind of a bad rap at times. And you look at it and it's like, that dude spent 16 seasons coaching the Cincinnati Bengals and had a winning record over 16 seasons with the Bengals. Like, I don't know if people remember what the Bengals were before Marvin Lewis and what they've been since Marvin Lewis. But it's been right back to what we always thought the Cincinnati Bengals were, fans wearing bags over their heads and people calling them the Bungles. But they went with Mike McCarthy. It'd be amazing if he could get Marvin Lewis to be his defensive coordinator. I don't know if Lewis would go for that, but it would be pretty cool if he could get him to do that. I have no problems with him hiring Mike McCarthy. I would say that's a good hire. That is a proven head coach. He got tired of his time in Green Bay. He had some friction with GM Ted Thompson, and a lot of it was because the Packers have not really gone out and signed free agents. They haven't been how they do things. They build through the draft, and McCarthy got kind of frustrated with that. Well, Dallas will go out and sign free agents, and they will make trades for big-time players. And they do have the funny thing has always been said about them this year. They got a 12-4 roster, but they got an 8-8 head coach. They've got talent on that team, a ton of talent on that Dallas team, and I think Mike McCarthy is going to do good things with that roster.
You know what? I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be a good hire. The only question is, how will he mesh with Jerry Jones? That's always the biggest question is, will they get along? But it's been reported that, McCarthy stayed at Jerry Jones' house on Saturday night to discuss things over. And once you stay at night over at the owner's house, usually it goes really well. It looks like they could potentially have something going. I think Mike McCarthy has the coaching capability of becoming Dallas the Dallas Cowboys that that fan base needs. I think it's a good hire. I'm always questioning Jerry Jones. Like it's like Jerry Jones can get a good coach, but then will the pieces all come together? That's a whole nother topic and a discussion for later. But I think this could be what Dallas Cowboys fans need.
There's tons of talent on that team. And if you look at the NFL and you look at statistical rankings, Dallas averaged more yards per game this season than any other team in the NFL. Averaged over 430 yards of offense a game. So the talent is, and the talent, the players they have on defense, whether it's Jalen Smith, it's Van Ness, it's DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Jones. They have players and they've got playmakers on all levels of their defense. And I think McCarthy's a good hire, and I think he'll probably be able to bring it all together. And I'd expect Dallas they should probably go 12-4 next season, barring injury.
12-4. Oh, you're going high on that. I think the best thing about it,
their coach is a buffoon.
The best thing about it is that with Mike McCarthy's name, his stature, and what he brings to that table as a fan base, you respect him immediately. Players, they're going to respect that coach immediately. Not saying Jason Garrett, they didn't respect him, but coming into it, Mike McCarthy brings that immediately. There's no question, there's no doubt. And hopefully, I'm not going to say 12-4. I'm not going to go that high. But I'm going to say that they're going to, I think in 2 years, this is could be the team. But you know what? It also happened this weekend. The NFL playoffs was the wild card. And the team who we all thought were going to be the team to beat, they lost. The Patriots lose to my Tennessee Titans, and the Saints lose to the Vikings on Sunday. Biggest loss to you? What was the biggest one that you were kind of most shocked about?
Oh, Minnesota going into New Orleans and beating the Saints. I mean, I told you last week, I thought the Saints were going to come out of the NFC. I know how hard it is to beat that team and to do it twice in a season. Like my Niners would have had to have done it. Very tough. I thought New Orleans was the best team. How they lost, Breeze with a fumble, throwing a pick. Like he never throws picks, and seemingly the last however many playoff games he's played in, he throws picks every time in these playoff games. Breeze now 8-8 in the playoffs. Alvin Kamara doesn't even do anything for them anymore. Like, I don't even know what he does out there on the field anymore. Like, it's almost like Jared Cook is a bigger part of their offense than Alvin Kamara. But the Vikings have to be the surprise because Kirk Cousins made the plays when it matters, and that's always been the thing because Kirk Cousins, can he win a big game? And that dude made the bomb to Adam Thielen, and then Kyle Rudolph pushed off a little bit. I'm glad they didn't call pass interference or review that. Whatever. That stuff happens all the time in the end zone. And he made the fade throw to Kyle Rudolph. Rudolph caught it. They won the game. Shout out to Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. I did not see that coming at all.
I already tweeted it out. I thought that game was going to be really, really good, but the game that was the most shocking for me was the Patriots and the Titans. I'm a Titans fan, growing up here in Memphis, huge Steve McNair fan. However, I didn't see this coming to go into Gillette. And the Titans season has been very up and down, rocky. And I didn't even think we were making the playoffs, to be honest with you. And to go to Gillette, the Patriots, they've been struggling, but not this much struggling. To hold them to 13 points and the fact that Brady goes out, that was a huge moment. That's all I need for my Tennessee Titans. At that point, it was like winning the Super Bowl because as a Titans fan, we can't get around the Patriots. We can't get through the Patriots. And that was so shocking. A team that we all thought that, they've won 6 Super Bowls, Tom Brady this, Patriots this. I lived in Boston for 16 long months. And I had to hear everything about the Patriots and the fact that the Titans go up there and beat them to end their season. That was the most shocking. I didn't see it coming. I was just flabbergasted. I think I was blowing out my candles when that pick six happened. It was around that time, and it was the best birthday present anyone can give me.
We also got to give a shout out because the play of the weekend, was Deshaun Watson on Saturday afternoon or early Saturday evening. For him to escape that, get hit twice hard by 2 defenders, roll out, make that throw to get the Texans down there to be able to kick that game-winning field goal. I mean, Chad was the former head coach at Arkansas. He recruited Watson to Clemson. And I know people don't really care about what he has to say a lot, but he said when he recruited him, this is the quarterback that's going to win you a national championship. And he was right about that. Watson is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. That he had the play of the weekend, no doubt, Deshaun Watson.
And the fact that this is the first weekend of the playoffs, this is so good.
Talking about Eagles. That game was so freaking boring.
But
that game was
games are good enough. Well, you know what came on after the Eagles? Since you were so bored, the Golden Globes came on Sunday night. And it, whether you watched or you didn't watch, a lot of things that came out of that Golden Globes, I was watching on and off while watching the Grizzlies game. And I enjoyed most of it. What was your favorite moment of the Golden Globes?
Oh, Ricky Gervais's opening monologue when him telling all of Hollywood in that room where they're all net worth in that entire room was several billions and billions of dollars. And him telling them, you pretend woke, but you're not woke. Look at the companies you work for. He said, if ISIS started a streaming service, you would all be calling your agent. None of you have any idea about the real world and the real things real people actually go through every day. So stop pretending like you do. Thank you. Thank you, Ricky Gervais, for saying that, because there's nothing that people in Hollywood love more than getting on their high horse about issues.
That was, that was a funny moment. I actually didn't think he did a good job hosting. I would love for this to be his last time hosting, and not throwing any shade, but I didn't care for it as much. That was a funny joke, and I liked it because I had just gone to see Bombshell on Sunday, and for all of that happening, like that was literally what that movie is about, in the same sense of with Fox and with everything, with all that money involved and how many people run together and how much you can control with money. But my favorite moments were the speeches. The speeches were so good. Ellen DeGeneres was so inspiring. And then to watch that monologue of her career, it was just like, it took you back. And then I think for millennials and kids who just didn't know the whole story, it was beautiful. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, I have always loved him as an actor, and I love him even more, him standing up there and giving his speech.
I thought about that last night. I was like, I think he may just be one person. He is one actor that I think nobody dislikes. Everybody likes Tom Hanks. Nobody dislikes Tom Hanks.
No, you can't. How can you?
No. He's played every character in the world.
He's played everything. And I love that he was drugged up on all that cold medicine, and he admitted to it. He was like, I promise you I'm not drunk. I have a cold, and I haven't taken cold medicine. And he was rambling on, but he brought it all back together. And I love that. And Michelle Williams, she is so soft-spoken, well-spoken. She comes up there. She doesn't demand. She's not loud. It was just inspiring. The Golden Globes, if some of the movies, I have absolutely no idea. I've never heard of some of these movies before, but the speeches like won me over. Also,
whatever Renee Zellweger was on, give me some of those drugs. All right. I mean, she was. Thank you. Inspirational. I'm like, that girl is high as hell.
The Golden Globes, they drink. They tell you that they're drinking all day. They say it's a party. I don't know. We need to get invited. 3 Point Stands. Can we be nominated for a Golden Globe? I don't think that's a thing. We should be. I think we're good enough for one. But Roser, that's all the time we have for this edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. I'll talk to you next week because there's more playoff games, and then we got to get ready for the college football national championship game. So we'll be talking next Monday. I'll see you then.
Yep.